Archangel Michael says, "The Lord sees every tear you've cried in secret, every prayer you whispered in the silence of the night, and every moment you tried to hold on when everything around you felt like it was falling apart. He sees your heartache, He knows your struggle, and He has not turned away from you, even for a second. Even when you thought you were alone, He was there, holding you up with hands that never grow weary, with love that never fades, and with grace that never runs out." The promise of a breakthrough is not just a dream, it is something God has already placed into motion, and what feels delayed is not denied. He is faithful to deliver what He has spoken over your life, and the doors that seemed closed forever are already starting to open, silently and steadily, under His divine hand. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. There are moments in life when the weight of financial worry becomes more than we feel we can bear, when we look at our empty bank accounts and feel that maybe God has forgotten our needs. But He has never once abandoned you. The God who fed thousands with a few loaves and fish, the God who turned water into wine, is the same God who will pour provision into your life in a way that will leave you in awe. The turning point is coming, not just in the form of money, but in the healing of your spirit, in the restoration of your hope, and in the assurance that you are never forgotten, never forsaken, and always deeply loved by the Creator of all things. He is not only the God of spiritual blessings but also the God who delights in meeting the needs of His children, right here, right now, in the middle of your real life and everyday pain. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you believe God is always with you. God does not deal in tricks or false promises, and His timing is never random. If He has placed this message before you, it is because the time has come for your story to change. You have walked through fire and storms, and still, you chose to keep your heart soft, to keep believing when you could have given up, and to keep loving even when it hurt. That kind of faith moves the heart of God in ways we cannot comprehend. Heaven has seen every moment you gave even when you had little, every time you showed kindness when no one was watching, and now a harvest is being prepared that will flow into your life like a river that does not dry up. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer, it is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting, but only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brain wave today. When your bank account begins to reflect the miracle that has already been decided in the heavens, remember this: the true blessing is not just the money but what God is doing inside of you. He is showing you that He can be trusted, that He hears the cries of your heart, and that He can shift your entire reality in a single moment. What once seemed impossible is now taking shape behind the scenes, and though you cannot see it yet, it is moving closer with every heartbeat. You are not forgotten, you are not invisible, and your life is not stuck in this season forever. God's hand is upon you, His Spirit surrounds you, and His favor is about to overtake you in a way that will leave you breathless. This isn't about a reward for perfection, because God knows you have stumbled. This is about His love that never changes and His promise that He will never abandon the work of His hands. You are the work of His hands. You are the child He crafted with purpose and intention, and every detour, every delay, every moment of despair was seen and held in his heart. Now the tide is turning, and it will not be because of your efforts alone, but because of his mercy and faithfulness that lifts you from where you are and places you where you were always meant to be. You may not feel ready, but he is. And he has already made a way. Type Amen to trust God's plan for your life. So let your heart be still, even if the storm is still raging, even if your circumstances haven't changed yet. Something powerful and unexplainable is coming to you, not because of luck or coincidence, but because you are loved beyond measure, and God has chosen this moment to remind you that your story is still being written by hands that never make mistakes. Your financial struggle is not the end of your story. It is the place where grace will be revealed more deeply than you ever imagined. And when that money arrives, yes, it will arrive, you will know it was never about the money itself, but about what it meant, that you are not forgotten, that God still moves mountains, and that hope is never wasted when it's placed in him. Archangel Michael says, there is something sacred about the stillness that follows your surrender, something holy that begins to move the moment you let go of trying to control what only God can fix. In that quiet place, where your hands are open and your heart is tired, God begins his most beautiful work. He does not wait for your life to be perfect, nor does he require that you understand the path ahead. All he asks is that you trust him, not with part of your life, but with everything, especially the parts that feel broken, uncertain, and full of fear. The promise of a financial turning point is not just about receiving what you need, it is about stepping into a new way of living, one that is no longer tied to fear and lack, but rooted in the unshakable truth that God is your provider. When he says he will take care of you, he means it with the weight of eternity behind his words. His care doesn't stop at your spiritual needs, it stretches into every corner of your life, including your daily bread, your home, your stability, and your peace of mind. He is not blind to the bills that keep piling up or the pressure you feel in your chest when you wonder how much longer you can survive this season. He is already working on what you cannot see, preparing answers that will meet you at just the right time. God does not operate on human clocks, yet he is never late. You may have been waiting for what feels like forever, but every second of that wait has been sacred, shaping your faith, refining your strength, and teaching you how to believe even when everything around you tries to convince you to give up. This financial breakthrough that is approaching is not just a solution to your needs, it is a response to your faithfulness, to your quiet endurance, and to the love that still lives in your heart despite all the hardship. It is heaven's way of saying, I see you. I have not forgotten you. And I am coming through. The money that is making its way into your life will not arrive by accident. It will be the result of divine orchestration, a blessing written into your story by the one who sees the beginning and the end at once. It will come in a way that humbles you, reminding you that God doesn't need logic or reason to bless you. He only needs your heart to remain open and your spirit willing to receive what he has already prepared. There is no shame in needing help, no guilt in hoping for relief, and no weakness in waiting for God to move. He delights in providing for you, not just to meet your needs, but to show you how deeply and completely he loves you. Type 3030 if you believe Jesus lives in your heart. Every time you chose kindness over bitterness, every time you prayed instead of panicked, every time you gave to others even when you had little to spare, those moments built a foundation for the miracle that is coming. Your faith has not been wasted. Your patience has not been ignored. Heaven has recorded your tears, your sacrifices, your hopes, and now, the time of harvest is near. You are not just about to receive money, you are about to experience the overwhelming goodness of a God who takes care of his children with perfect love. Remain with me until the end, because what you will hear is a gift of hope from above. There will be a shift, not only in your finances but also in your spirit. The fear that once ruled your heart will begin to loosen its grip. The anxiety that kept you awake at night will start to quiet. And the peace you've longed for, the deep, calming assurance that everything will be okay, will begin to take root inside you. Because the God who blesses you is not interested in temporary fixes, he is here to rebuild your life from the inside out, with strength that holds, love that heals, and provision that never runs dry. So when you feel that nudge in your soul, that whisper of something changing, don't ignore it. That's the Spirit of God preparing you for what's ahead. And when the blessing comes, and it will, remember that it is not random. It is not luck. It is not because you earned it or performed perfectly. It is because you are His. It is because you are loved beyond anything your mind can fully grasp. And it is because your Father in heaven is generous, kind, and always faithful. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. Archangel Michael says, there is a quiet moment just before everything changes, a sacred breath between the struggle and the blessing, where heaven leans in closer and the heart begins to feel the gentle shift of something new. That moment is now. Right here, in the middle of your uncertainty, in the middle of your waiting, God is already moving on your behalf. The turning point is not just near, it has already begun. And even though your eyes may not yet see the full picture, your spirit can feel the peace beginning to stir beneath the noise. What's coming toward you is not just about financial increase, it is about restoration, healing, and divine timing meeting your need with perfect precision. You've been carrying burdens for so long, carrying worry like a weight strapped to your chest, hoping that just maybe, something would change before you were forced to give up. You've fought in silence, kept smiling when your heart was exhausted, and stayed kind when it felt easier to close off. None of that has gone unnoticed. Heaven has counted every act of endurance, and now, the reward is coming, not because you demanded it, but because your heart has always remained open to God, even in the middle of pain. The financial blessing that is approaching is real, but it's not arriving just to fill a bank account. It's arriving to fulfill something much deeper. It's arriving as a sign that you are not forgotten, that your life matters, that God still performs wonders in the lives of those who believe. This blessing will be a symbol of His presence, a touch of His hand in your reality, reminding you that He can turn even the most desperate situations around in a single moment. He is not limited by numbers, not confined by economy, and never held back by what the world says is possible. He writes His own story for your life, and in His story, miracles are never out of reach. Type "I believe" if you believe miracles are on the way. Your financial breakthrough is not only about having more, it's about knowing that you are cared for, provided for, and covered in ways that money alone could never satisfy. God is about to show you that His love is not just spiritual, it is tangible. It walks into your life in unexpected ways, through people, opportunities, favor, and yes, even through the exact amount of money you need to breathe easier, to rest, and to dream again. He knows every detail, down to the very cent, and He is faithful to provide not just enough, but more than enough. In the middle of this, God is also preparing your heart for peace. That deep, anchoring peace that doesn't come from your circumstances, but from knowing who holds your future. You will no longer live under the pressure of wondering how things will work out. Instead, you will begin to feel the strength of trusting a God who never lets go. His promises are not fragile. They do not bend under the weight of time. They hold strong, no matter how long the night has lasted, and they bring light exactly when it's needed most. You don't have to chase this blessing. It's already on its way to you, written into your story, assigned to your life. What's been delayed is not denied. What's been difficult has only deepened your capacity to receive. The trials didn't break you, they prepared you. And now, you are standing on the edge of the breakthrough you've prayed for in quiet, in hope, and in tears. You are about to see with your own eyes what happens when God answers in full. As the blessing arrives, let your heart be reminded that this is only the beginning. God is not done with your story. He's just turning the page. What's ahead is filled with goodness, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. The blessing is real, and it is personal. It is designed specifically for you, shaped by grace, wrapped in mercy, and filled with love. You are not forgotten. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not too late, and you have not missed your moment. The God who moves mountains has seen your valley, and He is bringing you out, not empty-handed, but full of hope, full of promise, and full of peace. Archangel Michael says, when the night feels long and the silence seems endless, it can be easy to wonder if God still hears you, if He still remembers the promises whispered to your heart in moments of prayer and desperation. But the truth is, every quiet moment, every late-night tear, every time you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to walk away, those moments have built something beautiful between you and heaven that nothing can break. God has not forgotten you, and the shift you have longed for is already unfolding in ways you can't yet see. There is a grace that moves slowly, not because it is hesitant, but because it is perfect. The same God who created the oceans and designed the stars is carefully crafting the breakthrough that is heading your way. This financial shift is not a random blessing or a vague hope. It is an intentional act of love, a sacred response to every time you held on just one more day. You may not understand the timing, but the timing has always been a part of the miracle. What you thought was delay was really preparation, and what you called silence was actually the sound of God working deeply within the unseen. Type 222 if you trust that God is with you always. You've been walking through a season where it felt like nothing was changing, where you gave everything you could and still felt like you had nothing left to show. But what if I told you that God was never measuring the outward result? He was watching your heart, your faith, your quiet trust that refused to let go even when you were tired of hoping. That is what moved heaven. That is what opened the gates. And now, the moment you've been praying for is closer than you think. The money that is making its way into your hands is not the end of this story, it is the beginning of a new chapter, one marked by peace, joy, and rest. This blessing is not just provision, it is promise fulfilled. God is showing you that you are never beyond His reach, never outside of His care. Even when everything around you felt unstable, His plans for you were steady and sure. And now, that stability is coming to you in waves, touching every area of your life that has known lack and fear. He knows the weight you've been carrying. He knows how hard it's been to smile when your heart was breaking and how many times you've looked up at the ceiling, asking Him for just one sign, just one answer. And here it is. Not only is He sending provision, but He is also sending confirmation that you were never walking through this alone. His angels have gone before you, preparing the way, aligning the right opportunities, opening the right doors. And all of it is about to make sense. All of it is about to come together. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. There will come a moment very soon when you look back and realize that God was there all along, arranging every detail, not missing a single need. He didn't forget the exact amount you needed. He didn't overlook the urgency. He saw it all, and He is responding not with scraps or leftovers, but with abundance. And not just for today. This is a blessing that will plant seeds for your future, a turning point that will shift the direction of your life in ways far beyond your finances. Let your heart receive this, not with fear or doubt, but with peace and trust. You don't need to force it, chase it, or earn it. You only need to receive it with a spirit that says, God, I believe you are good, and I believe this is for me. You've spent enough time worrying, enough time feeling forgotten. Now is the time to step into what has already been written over your life, a future that is blessed, covered, and held in perfect hands. Archangel Michael says, when your soul has been walking through the wilderness for what feels like far too long, it's easy to start believing that maybe this is just how life will be now, bare, uncertain, and heavy with unanswered questions. But there's a holy shift happening in this moment, right now, even if you cannot see it with your eyes. The hand of God is already moving through the pieces of your life, gently rearranging what has been broken, gathering what has been lost, and making space for something new and deeply needed to arrive at your door. The financial blessing you are about to receive is not just a gift to cover your needs, it is a message from heaven, written in the language of mercy and timed with the accuracy of love. It is God's way of reminding you that you have always been His child, never overlooked, never dismissed, and never beyond the reach of His kindness. He has seen your sacrifices, your quiet generosity, the way you kept showing up for others even when you felt empty inside. These are the moments that echoed through the heavens, and now, what you poured out will return to you, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing in ways that will catch you off guard in the most beautiful way. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. You are not standing at the edge of another disappointment. You are standing at the doorway of answered prayers, prayers that were whispered into the dark, spoken with a trembling voice, prayers that you almost forgot you prayed because they were buried so deep in hope and longing. God never forgot them. He held each one close, and now, He is preparing the perfect response, not rushed or random, but gentle and full of purpose. What is coming is not only timely, it is sacred. It is the kind of blessing that reminds you that miracles do not just belong to stories from long ago, but are alive and real and happening now, even for you. There will be a moment when your phone lights up, or an unexpected message finds its way to you, or an opportunity appears out of nowhere, and your heart will know, this is it. This is the moment everything begins to change. And it will not be subtle. It will feel like warmth rushing into a cold place. It will feel like hope that finally has hands and feet and movement. It will feel like God stepping into your story again with a smile that says, I never left. I was always here. And now, I'm giving you what you need. The financial turning point is not coming just to fix problems. It is coming to lift burdens. It is coming to restore your breath, to give you back your laughter, to remind you that joy is still yours to have. The money will come, yes. It will arrive and answer questions and solve some of the worry that's been circling your mind. But more than anything, it will be a sign, a soft, undeniable sign, that you are seen, loved, and covered by a Father who does not forget His own. You have not wasted your time believing. Every quiet act of faith has become a foundation for this blessing. You kept going. You kept trusting. You kept holding on, even when it hurt. And now heaven is responding, not out of pity, but out of love. Pure, unconditional, overflowing love. Let your heart get ready. Let your spirit receive what's coming without hesitation. You don't have to be perfect to be blessed. You just have to be open. This is not a reward for being strong, it's a gift for being His. And you are. You always have been. Even when you doubted, even when you feared, even when you fell apart, He never changed His mind about you. Type Amen if you trust in God, and share this heart-touching video with 9 loved ones to open the doors of blessings and miracles. Archangel Michael says, there is something tender and holy about the moments when you feel like giving up but choose to keep going instead. In those quiet, aching spaces where everything inside you feels tired and worn, God is closest. He is not watching from a distance, waiting for you to be stronger or more perfect. He is right there with you, sitting beside your weary soul, whispering promises that have never changed. You may feel small and forgotten in this world, but in heaven's eyes, you are deeply known, completely cherished, and chosen for something greater than what you've seen so far. The financial turning point that's making its way into your life is part of a much bigger plan, one that stretches far beyond the numbers in your account. This is about restoration, of not just what you've lost, but of who you are when you're not burdened by constant fear, stress, and anxiety. God is not just giving you enough to survive, He is preparing to lift you into a new season where peace becomes your companion, not your stranger. This shift will be real, not imagined, and it will meet you exactly where your need has lived the longest. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. God knows the details. He knows the quiet panic when bills come in, the embarrassment you felt when you couldn't say yes to things you longed for, and the way your stomach dropped every time you had to say, "not yet," to something you've needed for far too long. He has seen it all, and he has not turned away. In fact, those were the very moments his angels stood nearest to you, guarding your hope, strengthening your faith, and making sure your light never went out completely. You are not being rescued as an afterthought. You are being blessed because you are loved. This is not about earning, deserving, or performing. This is about a Father who loves you so much that he refuses to leave you in lack, no matter how long the struggle has lasted. There is no guilt in this gift. There is no shame in this blessing. There is only mercy, pure, unstoppable mercy that flows from the heart of the one who calls you his beloved. When the money arrives, it will not come with pressure or fear. It will come with peace. It will come with the gentle clarity that this is from God, and that he is doing it not just to change your circumstances, but to remind you that he has always been your provider. People may fail. Systems may fall apart. But God remains steady, good, constant, and always on time, even when time seems to be running out. There is a sacred softness in what's about to happen. You won't need to explain or defend it. You won't have to prove that you needed it. God already knows. He has already seen the storm you've weathered and the strength it took to stay faithful. That strength, even when it felt like weakness, was never wasted. It was the very reason heaven began moving on your behalf. The coming days will carry a sweetness you haven't felt in a long time. Peace will visit you in quiet ways, a full tank of gas without worry, a grocery trip without hesitation, a sigh of relief when you realize you're no longer scrambling to hold everything together. It will feel like morning after a long night, like breath after being underwater. And in that space, you will know, this is God's doing. Not luck. Not coincidence. Just grace, pure and real, doing what only grace can do, restoring what was taken, reviving what was fading, and planting new life where there was only survival. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. You are not too far gone. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are right on time for this blessing. You are in the perfect place for this miracle. And you are exactly who God says you are, loved, chosen, and ready. Archangel Michael says, there is a stillness in the air before a miracle comes, a quiet stirring in the soul that feels almost like a whisper, reminding you that something sacred is drawing near. That stillness you feel now is not emptiness, it is preparation. Heaven is closer than it has ever been, and even though your hands may feel empty and your heart may feel fragile, you are standing on ground that is about to be flooded with grace so deep and pure that your past struggles will feel like a distant memory. The truth is simple, you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. This financial blessing that is coming your way is not just provision for today, it is a sign that the dry season is over, and the rain of mercy is about to fall in full. God has been with you through every silent battle, through every day when you pretended to be okay, and through every night when you laid in bed wondering how much longer you could keep going like this. He has watched over your soul like a shepherd guarding his most precious lamb, and now he is stepping into your story with a promise fulfilled, one that brings both relief and restoration. The shift you are about to experience is more than financial, it is spiritual, emotional, and deeply personal. When God blesses his children, he does not just meet their needs, he breathes life into every part of their being that has been worn thin from waiting. He knows how long you've been in survival mode, carrying the weight of responsibility and worry like a stone in your chest. But now, that weight is being lifted. That burden is being removed. And in its place, peace is coming, gently and completely. This blessing is not here to tease you or test you, it is here to remind you that God is good, and that his love is real, even in the practical parts of life. He knows you need food on the table, lights in your home, and peace in your finances. And he's not just giving enough to get by, he is giving you what you need to breathe again, to dream again, and to stand tall without fear. There is no limit to his generosity, no cap on his compassion. He gives fully, freely, and perfectly, and what he is sending your way has already been marked with your name and sealed with his promise. When this money reaches your hands, something inside you will shift. You will no longer see yourself as someone barely getting through. You will begin to see yourself the way God sees you, worthy, favored, and held. This blessing will not only meet your physical needs, it will begin to heal the deep places in you that have been hurting in silence. It will confirm what your heart has longed to believe, that God truly cares, not just about your soul, but about your life. Every step that led you here has mattered. The days you gave even when you had little, the nights you prayed even when it felt like no one was listening, the choices you made to keep loving, giving, and believing even when the world was cold, all of that was seen by heaven. Not one moment was wasted. Not one act of faith went unnoticed. And now, the reward is coming, not as a transaction, but as a gift born from love. You are not receiving this blessing because you were perfect. You are receiving it because you are his. Because even in your weakness, you clung to hope. Even when you were tired, you stayed kind. Even when the road was long, you kept walking. And now, God is meeting you where your strength ran out and replacing it with his power, his provision, and his peace. So take a deep breath and prepare your heart. This is not the end of your story, it is a new beginning, a chapter written by the one who holds your future and loves you too much to let you stay in the shadows. Light is coming. Relief is coming. Joy is coming. And most of all, the quiet reassurance that your life is not forgotten, your needs are not too small, and your prayers have never gone unheard. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. Archangel Michael says, "The road you've been walking has not been easy, and though others may not see how much strength it has taken for you to keep going, heaven has watched every step. God has seen the nights you cried quietly, not wanting anyone else to worry. He has felt the ache in your heart when you smiled on the outside but felt broken within. He knows how deeply you've wanted to believe that things would get better, even when life kept handing you more reasons to doubt. And now, that season of wondering is drawing to a close. You are about to witness a turning point so full of grace, it will soften all the sharp edges of what you've endured. This financial breakthrough that's already moving toward you is not about material gain alone, it is about restoration of peace, of dignity, of the ability to exhale without fear chasing your breath. God is answering more than your bank account. He is answering your soul's cry for rest. You've walked long enough in lack, in survival mode, in a place where uncertainty kept you up at night and worry followed you like a shadow. But God never intended for you to live bound by fear. He has always held a plan to bring you into a place of provision, not because of who you know or what you've done, but because of who He is and how deeply He loves you. There is no part of your journey that God will waste. The hardship, the losses, the closed doors, they are not punishments. They are the soil from which your harvest is about to grow. What looked like delays were really divine pauses, creating space for the right moment, the right blessing, the right door to swing wide open. And that moment is now. You may have felt forgotten, but God has been orchestrating things in the unseen. He has been aligning circumstances, preparing hearts, and shaping the perfect moment for what you've longed for to finally arrive. When this financial release reaches your life, it will come with clarity and peace. It won't bring confusion or fear. It will settle something inside you, confirming what your spirit has always hoped was true, that God is near, that He provides, and that He never fails. You won't have to fight for it. You won't have to explain it. This blessing will be a quiet miracle, undeniable and deeply personal, arriving just when you need it most, in a way that will make your heart feel safe again. You will look around and notice the little things first, the absence of stress, the comfort of knowing things are covered, the gentle return of dreams you had pushed aside. And then you'll feel it deeper, in the places where your heart once felt abandoned. Joy will return, not loud at first, but steady and true. Hope will no longer feel like a risk, but like a natural part of your breath. And peace will come, not as a guest, but as a new home for your soul to rest in. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. This is not about being lucky or deserving. It's about being loved by a God who sees what no one else sees and gives in ways no one else can. He knows your needs down to the smallest detail. He knows the timing better than anyone else ever could. And He is not just blessing you for this moment, He is setting you up for a new way of living, one that is grounded in peace, in steady provision, and in the unshakable truth that you are fully held. Let go of the fear that it won't happen. Release the voice that says you're always the one who gets passed by. That is not your truth anymore. The struggle is giving way to security. The silence is making room for joy. The scarcity is being replaced by more than enough. And it's not just about money, it's about knowing deep in your bones that God has not forgotten you. Type "I love God" to claim abundance through God's love. Archangel Michael says, there is a sacred moment when the heart begins to feel what the eyes have not yet seen, when something deep inside you knows that even though nothing has changed on the outside, something beautiful is already unfolding within. That's where you are right now. Standing quietly on the edge of a miracle that's been moving toward you in silence, wrapped in light, carried by angels, and timed perfectly by the one who never misses a moment. You've held on through seasons that tried to break you, through disappointments that felt like dead ends, and through long stretches of waiting where every day felt heavier than the last. You've walked through doors that led to more questions than answers. You've done your best with what little you had, hoping that maybe, just maybe, God would see you. And He did. He saw it all. Not one moment went unseen, not one tear unnoticed, not one prayer unheard. And now, the turning point has been set in motion, and there is no force on earth that can stop what heaven has decided to release. The financial blessing that is coming is real. It's not a wish, not a dream, not an illusion built on empty hope. It's a divine promise finally rising to meet you after a long journey through time and preparation. It will not be small, and it will not be temporary. This is not about a fleeting moment of relief. This is about God reordering things in your life so that you can breathe, live, give, and rest in the stability that you've prayed so long to experience. You don't have to prove yourself to receive it. You don't need to earn your way into it. This is a gift, plain and true. A reflection of how God gives, not with strings, not with conditions, but with love that is full, free, and undeserved. He is not giving this to repay you. He is giving this because it has always been His heart to care for you, protect you, and lift you out of what was too heavy to carry on your own. This blessing will bring clarity. It will help you see how every closed door was a kindness in disguise, how every delay kept you from stepping into something too soon, and how every unanswered question was preparing your heart to receive the kind of peace that doesn't shake when the world does. This peace, this provision, this shift, it will change how you see God, how you see yourself, and how you move through the world. You are not someone who has been forgotten. You are not someone who was passed over. You are someone who was being carefully prepared. Every setback trained your heart to lean on God more deeply. Every disappointment loosened your grip on things that couldn't hold you. Every long night shaped a kind of faith in you that cannot be taken away. Now is the time when God turns what was meant to harm you into something that will carry you forward. He is not just giving you what you need to catch up, He is giving you what you need to begin again, with strength, with stability, and with a sense of purpose you may have thought was gone forever. The money will come, yes, but with it will come the freedom to stop surviving and start living with open hands and a peaceful heart. Type 999 if you trust Jesus with all your heart. There will be a day, very soon, when you look around and realize that the heaviness is gone. The fear has lifted. The weight has been taken from your shoulders. And in its place is something gentle and quiet and holy. It will feel like walking into sunlight after a long, dark tunnel. And it will not be a moment you forget, it will be a new beginning, written just for you by the one who never gave up on your story. Archangel Michael says, there is a quiet beauty in how God moves, softly, patiently, and always with purpose. Even in your most painful waiting, when nothing seemed to change, when the pressure felt unbearable, God was working beneath the surface, preparing something far more meaningful than just an answer to your prayer. He was preparing you, your heart, your faith, your capacity to carry what's coming next. And now, the season of waiting is shifting. The winds have turned. You are stepping into the place where long-carried prayers finally begin to bloom. The financial turning point that's unfolding is not just a solution to your problems, it's the beginning of restoration across the parts of your life that have known too much fear, too much scarcity, and far too many silent battles. God is not just bringing you relief. He is bringing you into alignment with the peace you were always meant to live in. He has not overlooked your circumstances. He has not forgotten the strain, the sleepless nights, the quiet moments when you tried to hide your worry from others. He has seen it all. And still, He loves you without condition. This blessing is not about chasing wealth, it's about receiving what heaven has already chosen to give you out of love. It's about stepping out of the survival mindset and into the understanding that your Father cares for every detail of your life. This isn't about luck or timing. It's about divine intention. God knows exactly when you needed it most, and He waited until your heart was ready to carry the gift, not just with relief, but with purpose. When the money begins to arrive, and it will feel like more than just numbers in your account. It will feel like sunlight breaking through a storm that lasted longer than anyone knew. It will feel like the soft breath of hope returning to your chest. And as you receive it, there will be no confusion in your spirit. You will know that this was not an accident. It was grace. Pure and real, and perfectly timed. The blessing won't just stop at your finances. It will touch your confidence, your choices, your sense of stability. It will allow you to step out of constant survival mode and begin building a life where you are not always catching up, but finally breathing, finally moving forward. The weight of fear, of what ifs and not enough, will begin to lift. And in its place, you'll find stillness, a peace that doesn't make sense to the world, but settles you in the deepest places of your soul. God is not sending this to reward your strength. He's sending it to comfort your spirit, to show you what His love looks like when it takes form in the physical world. He's not just filling your needs, He's letting you know that He was there through every moment when it felt like no one else could see how close you were to breaking. That's the kind of Father He is. One who provides, yes, but also one who heals, restores, and redeems every piece of your journey. As this blessing comes, don't let guilt or fear steal its beauty. Receive it fully. Let it settle into your life without hesitation. You've waited. You've endured. And now, it's time to experience what happens when God says, "I have not forgotten you." Type 1010 to affirm that God's timing is perfect. The shift has begun. The help is on the way. The worry is losing its power. And you, beloved one, are about to walk into a season where you no longer question if God sees you, because His answer will be clear, undeniable, and filled with gentle mercy. Archangel Michael says, "You may not have seen it happening, but every quiet prayer, every moment you chose to trust instead of fear, every time you whispered, 'God, I believe,' even when you felt uncertain, those moments were not forgotten. They became the very foundation on which your breakthrough is being built. Heaven never once turned its face away from you. Even when the days felt empty and the nights seemed endless, angels stood close, guarding your hope, keeping watch over your spirit, and preparing the way for the blessing that is now approaching. This isn't just a financial change. It is a holy shift. It is God stepping into your reality and saying, enough. It's time for peace. It's time for restoration. It's time for you to see what I've been preparing all along. You've been stretched, tested, and refined through seasons that felt unfair, and still, you kept your heart turned toward Him. And now, what has felt like a long silence is about to become a loud and undeniable answer. The blessing coming your way will not arrive with noise or spectacle. It will arrive in peace. In quiet confirmation. In that sudden realization that you don't have to fight so hard anymore. That you don't have to live from emergency to emergency. That you can finally take a breath without feeling like the ground is about to shift beneath your feet. It will come like a sunrise, gentle at first, but rising steadily until your whole life is filled with light again. God is not only sending you money, He's sending you reassurance. He's sending you stability. He's sending you a reminder that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, and never too far behind for Him to bless. His provision is not limited to others. It reaches to you too, and it does so with tenderness. He sees exactly where you are. And He's coming to meet you there, not with judgment, but with compassion, with mercy, and with abundance. You will feel it first in your spirit, that quiet, steady knowing that something is different. You may still see the same bills, still have the same responsibilities, but something will have changed inside you. A release. A lifting. A holy calm that says, it's already done. Help is already here. And soon, your outer life will begin to match what God has already completed in the unseen. You are not being left out. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every delay, every moment of frustration, every tear that fell when you thought no one was watching, it all mattered. It was not wasted. It was seen by a God who gathers every tear, who understands every ache, and who never lets pain go unanswered. Let your heart soften again. Let your hope rise, even if it's just a flicker. Because the moment is coming, and not in years or months, but now. The hours ahead will carry something holy. A shift. A turning of the tide. And you will begin to feel what it means to be taken care of by God, not in theory, but in real, practical, undeniable ways. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Type 1111 if you believe heaven is listening. Your spirit has waited for this. Your life has made room for it. And now, heaven is responding. So open your hands, open your heart, and prepare to receive, not because of what you've done, but because of who God is. Faithful. Generous. And always, always near. Archangel Michael says, there comes a moment when the weight you've carried for so long begins to lift, not because everything outside of you changes instantly, but because something inside you quietly shifts. Amen.